Traders, welcome back to another Relentless recap. Guys, be sure to hit that thumbs up. And of course, if you are a new viewer, as you watch throughout the video, towards the end, consider subscribing to the channel. All right, so ARDX down 161.82, and we just could not get a grip on this stock. It starts off here, it pushes up. It's worth mentioning this one is a little bit of a higher float. We get a nice move up here and we see our first potential pattern. The bull flag, the first 1 minute candle to make the new high. It surges up and I attempted it at high of day. So I didn't take the 1 minute candle here to make the new high. I got in towards the high of this candle here at 64. Don't give it enough time. I'm in and it's not quite pushing. Again, that higher float aspect of it, we did not see a quick breakout. So I'm back out, just, scratch trade, and we do end up getting a high of 75. So this could have been a nice 10-cent opportunity if I was willing to hold the stock. Now, this was not on my watch list. And so earlier in the move, I did not realize the float was on the higher side. So, sometimes this does happen. If you're watching a stock, you want to do the analysis so you know how to approach it and what to do, what not to do. So once I do realize the float is on the higher side, I told myself, hey, we'll only trade the 5-minute pullbacks, right? Or let's say the pullbacks in general. The first pullback comes, we get a low in here, and I'm like, man, I don't trust it just yet. I wait and I buy the low of this candle, but it's not quite ready. It comes down some more, so I'm in at 64. Well, what is it, 60, 66, and I realize it's going lower, so I stop out over here, and it's a losing trade. Now I get back in slightly lower here. My aim was for 62. I got a slightly higher fill, 64, so not the best fills here. I should have bought the bids, and because I'm not quite in where I want to be, and I'm not as comfortable, and it still does end up coming back down, and this ended up being a bit of a scratch trade. So we had one loss and then a scratch trade. So again, you'll see here we sold 64 and 63, right? So it comes down some more, and this is where I really dropped the ball and fumbled the bag on this trade. So at this point, we're down 90 bucks, not bad. And I am long beautifully here at 60. I had no faith. I had no confidence that this trade would work, and I ignored my good indicators. Well, first and foremost, we're pulling back into the pre-market highs. We always, we talk about this here a lot in the course when it comes to support and how important it is when we have multiple layers of support. And so we come down here to 360 at the pre-market highs, and then VWAP is right there at 57, right? So no reason why I should have been out unless this broke down the low at VWAP at 57. So I was in. I could have had a 3 to 4 cent risk, and looking for high of day. So when we talk about risk to reward ratio, I'm risking essentially 3 to 4 cents for a move to 75, which is 15 cents. That's a great risk to reward ratio. And so I completely fumbled this trade by not being confident. And if you guys watch back the live stream, you'll even hear me say it. I mentioned how I don't trust the stock, but I had every reason to. And I kind of knew that it was different from our watch list stocks in the sense that those stocks were just choppy all over the place. This one was a little fresh. It was different. It wasn't really trading in tandem with the other stocks, the up, down, chop. So I sold the position, and almost immediately, you guys know how it goes. We do get the new high, and it rips up over 64. We get a high of 69. Now, 9 cents on this trade is not the best, I will say. Right, 9 cents. If we pull up the calculator, do we have it? If we pull up the calculator here, 2400 times 0.09 would be 216. So it's not bad, but the target here would have been 75 at high of day, at least 73, 74. Can we get a push through that level, retest the highs? It doesn't quite do that, but this would have at least given us a chance to maybe come out of the trade with anywhere from 5 to 9 cents of profits. Now it's ARDX, moving on. CYTO. This one we took a loss in pre-market. I thought this was a pretty good trade. What I needed to do was, I failed at recognizing that we weren't holding up as well as we should have been. It's pre-market. I'm kind of looking at other things as well. We could have also been a little bit more dialed in. When you're watching to trade, you got to watch the trade. You can't be doing analysis on the other stocks, this and that. You got to be paying attention. We had a level here at 61, right? This line here, 61. And I'm like, hey, if we can break over 60, hold above 60, I like this. But the mistake I make is that it rips over 60 to 66 and it comes down quickly. It's already false. It's already a false breakout at that time, and I attempt to buy it at 52, more like here, thinking it's gonna retest, but it continues lower. It just, it's a simple trade where I can easily avoid it if I'm more in tune, So really and truly, we could have avoided this. We really could have avoided that loss right there. Just, it's one of those things. But anyhows, so it fails once, twice, 3 times, and the 4th time here happened to be the charm. I don't know if you would count this candle as well, but it does break out nicely. I thought we were going to get ready for a nice U-shaped red to green into the open, maybe cup, flag for a handle, and then continue higher. That was not the case. This ended up being just as choppy as some of the other stocks that we saw yesterday. We're up here, down, up, down, up, down, sideways, bear flag. It does do a nice breakout here, up, then down. And I always say this in every single choppy market, is that when this does happen, I saw this move here. When this happens, and we just saw this, it's so hard for me to just jump in and try to ride the wave. So I'm watching at it, and I'm actually watching for the panic flush as opposed to a buy, and selling higher. But the flush never happens. And so then I start to think, okay, maybe this thing is going to actually flag. Right? We're going to see, a wedge here, and then a continued move, and then we're going to start to move really nicely. I tried to buy the panic flush here. I don't quite get it. And I'm like, you know what? I'm done with this thing. And then boom. This is the type of day that we're dealing with. This was our main stock going into the open. Our number one stock. Absolutely miserable. GNS. So at that point, we're down 350. GNS, I'm talking to Marcelo on a call. Marcelo says RT. GNS is going to the moon. It's mooning. It's mooning, brother. So I said, okay, let's see. And on the first sight, this is a familiar stock. This one has been in play, a couple of times over the months and years. But I'm like, man, I don't know. But I give it a chance. And I was using 600 shares only, right? But now I did take a lot of trades in and out, in and out, in and out. And we were able to make something. We were up 220 at best, and then we gave back a little off the top after we came back over here. But just not the cleanest, not the best, very difficult. This one was moving a little weird. Let's remove the show trades for now, just so we can see some of the candlesticks. It was moving a little weird, but I happened to get into a bit of a groove, but it wasn't my favorite for sure. A bit of a flat top here. It continues. It's like grinding up. It's showing that it has potential in some areas, but then it's not doing much once the volume gets in. And then, of course, we're seeing some wicked drops. Boom, 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 boom. It's like you can get caught if you're not really quick with the trades, or if you're holding long from a higher average. And what I did like over here was the bottoming wicks. I mean, even this one was kind of crazy. If we look at the 5-minute, we'll see that it comes down, it looks like it's failing, boom, but it's a bear trap, it crawls back up, but then it doesn't get a new high of day. When this happens, I want to see a new high of day, and we do not get the new high of day. Right? So in this range, bottoming wick, bottoming wick, bottoming wick, bottoming wick. Right here, I loaded up a little bit of size. Well, not anything crazy. I think like 1,800 shares twice, but it wasn't going. And I'm like, man, it's getting stuffed. And that was it. That was the day. That was the day. Just, terrible momentum these last 2 days, man. We're glad for this 150, which is going to reduce the loss. Yesterday was a day like today where we're red, we come back. I brought the deficit down yesterday to 280, but then I kept going and I went to 380 in the red. So today, once I got this below 200 and this thing started, struggling, I'm like, yeah, let's not even try it because, there's no need to give back any more off this deficit. So that's where we wrapped it up, right? So if you're watching on and you are in need of a scanner, right, be sure to check out Momo Pro, one of the sponsors here of our channel. And, Momo Pro is where I get all my hot stocks from, right? Whether from the gap scan at the discovery section right here, news, halts, right? We do have conditional alerts as well. And of course, the high-low tick, which will get all the stocks that are moving up or down in real time. Of course, be sure to check out our comprehensive day trading course over at Merciless Markets University. You guys can find the link for all of these things down below, right? So yeah, be sure to check it out. You can check out our curriculum as well, right? For those people who've already bought the course, this is how it'll look once they're signed in. That we have all the curriculum here. If you want to take a look through the chapters and everything else, and if you don't, of course, have the course already, which most of you don't. I can show you how it looks from that perspective as well. Let me pull up the link here quickly. There's a lot of classes in there, and so we're teaching people how to manage risk, how to be disciplined, and how to trade the strategy we trade, right? Marcelo and myself, which is momentum trading, right? Momentum trading, scalping, and watching for a couple of edge, right? A few edges and patterns that we came to know and love over time. So, here you go, right? For those of you who have never seen the website, this is how it looks once you sign in. Everything is well and professional, of course. We have code madness, right? It's March here in the States. There's something called March Madness when it comes to basketball, and a lot of people are into it when it comes to the colleges. So yeah, code madness for 40% off. All right, and again, you can check out the curriculum over here if you don't already, if you haven't already purchased it. Again, for the people who have, it looks slightly different, but pretty much the same. All right. And it tracks your progression as you go, so you'll know how much of the course you've completed over time. But keep in mind, we will continue to add to the course. Lastly, be sure to take a look at our Discord, which is our chat room. It looks like I have a couple of questions here to respond to, right? Yeah, be sure to take a look at our chat room. This is where it goes down before, during, and after the live stream. And, again, be sure to take a look at our rules, right? Be sure to take a look at our rules where we talk about, the community guidelines and things to always look out for and to follow. Be careful of the scammers. I always like to mention of fake Relentless Trader accounts. Be wary, be careful. And yeah, that'll do it for the video. The link tree will be down below, the social media links as well. It's been Relentless Trader. And final P&L on the day will be 195 and 12 cents in the red. I am signing out. Stay tuned for the monthly recap of February tomorrow morning. Catch you guys later.